Why do you think that 20 years, almost 20 years later, 2Pac's murder is still unsolved, officially?
Because of all the different information that comes in, and all the different theories out there. And detectives working the case for a while, writing a book on their theory, and then another detective writes another book on his theory. And too many different people saying different things and trying to get Suge Knight's involvement. And it's a mess. A lot of it, your witnesses don't want to come forward. This is all gangs. This is all gangs. It's all out of Compton.
Yeah.
And these guys, it's hard to get them on the stand. A lot of times you can put them in front of a videotape, and they'll tell you, yeah, this is what happened, this and that. But you get on the stand, it's a code of the gangs. You can't go up there and testify against the homies like that.
Yeah, I mean, I'd actually reached out to some people around this situation, and no one really wants to talk.
And it's not only that, but I mean, it's Las Vegas's case. LAPD's had a hand in it. Compton PD had a hand in it. So I mean, you'd have to get everybody together to add their information to an investigator that wants to really look at it and try to go somewhere with this information. And I think some of it too is that, well, the shooter's dead. Oftentimes in Compton, people aren't that worried about a murder sometime as soon as the shooter's dead. They're like, well, he got what he deserved. Forget the rest of the guys in the car. And that's just how they look at it.
Could the rest of the guys in the car be charged?
Of course they could. I mean, you could be charged for a conspiracy, for them talking about grabbing a gun and talking about going to do retaliation. That's a conspiracy. You got 4 different people there.
So there's 4 people in the car.
And there's more culpability for the person that actually drove, stopped next to him. So, okay, go ahead and shoot, and because he's actually part of that crime, because he's putting him right in line to do what he had to do. It's a little harder for the passengers to get the culpability outside of a conspiracy.
Do you think that once all 4 people are gone, that you might actually get people coming forward and testifying, or not really?
I mean, it depends. I mean, if you've got an investigator, and it's not, Las Vegas has plenty of murders, and their investigators have a lot of murders to work. And, they put a lot of hours already into this murder. And a lot of times what you'll wait when you have a cold case like that is new information or a witness to come to you. Because a lot of times you just don't have the time, because you're trying to keep up with what's happening in the street now. To try to keep up with these murders before another retaliation murder happens, right? And somebody else gets killed. So oftentimes you don't have the time to go back and look at the old cases, unless you've got extra personnel that can work just the cold case files.
Yeah.
And if you get an investigator like that wants to go out there and recontact the witnesses, some of them might get right at this time. 20 years has gone by.
Well, there's no statute of limitations for murder.
No, and the case is always open.
It's always open. And this is a very high-profile murder.
Sure.
That still is unsolved to this day.
You have to go back to, I mean, it's Las Vegas's case. I mean, they were the ones that would need to, I don't know what's going on it right now. That would be something for you to do, maybe, is talk to them. If they're actively working it, like I said, a lot of times, then if it's a cold case, if you already did all this investigation, a lot of times people don't go back. But I mean, I've found it, and Bob's found it over the years, it's really good to go back sometimes when people are no longer in the neighborhood. Maybe they're out of that environment, and say, hey, look, that day you said you didn't see nothing. What can you tell me now? Well, I was scared. I was scared of Suge Knight. I was scared of gang members and everything. But you know what? I'm living over here now. I'm not around those people.
Yeah.
Let me tell you what really happened. So a lot of times you can go back and get the information from the people.
I mean, you guys are no longer police officers in Compton, but you do know what happened with Suge in Compton recently.
Yes. Basically. I mean, I didn't go delve too far into the whole thing, but yes.
You saw the video and everything?
I've seen, some of the videos.
Based on you being police officers and knowing what you know about the story with Terry Carter getting killed and so forth. Did you guys know Terry Carter?
I knew Terry Carter.
You know Terry Carter.
Yeah.
From your point of view, do you think that Suge could get off, or do you think that he's going to get convicted for this?
I don't really want to go. It's an open case. It's
Right.
going to be coming to trial right there. I don't want to offer any opinions on it. I mean, of course, always somebody has the opportunity to get off. You know, you can get a flamboyant lawyer that can do all kinds of things sometimes, but
I'd rather not say though.
I
Yeah.
can't even comment on that because
Okay.
that's coming up.
Okay, fair enough. Is there anything that you want to really add that we haven't discussed in terms of the whole Tupac murder and everything?
No, I mean, we tried to tell people 20 years ago what happened, and we're still sticking to it. I mean, if you take all the facts that we have, you know, on the case, if you start from Orlando Anderson, you know, his background, the kind of person he was, you know, he gets dissed bad, he gets beat down at the fight. We know that he has weapons available to him. He can't go back to his homies and say, hey, look, Suge and Tupac just beat me down. You know, well, what are you going to do about it? He has to do something. That's their code. Plus he's a hardcore gangster.
So that's a big thing in that gang where you can't let someone do that
Respect.
to you.
It's all gangs.
It's all about respect.
It's all about respect. You can't let somebody can't come over. If you write Southside Crip on the wall, if somebody comes over and X's it out, you know, you can get killed doing some stuff like that. You know, because that's disrespecting your gang by crossing you out and then putting a K for killer against them or write punks or something. You know, that could be a death penalty offense. You know, stuff like that. It's all about respect.
Yeah,
And
but
you
just-
can't back down.
Just knowing these gangsters and knowing their mentality and knowing how Orlando was, there's no way that he's going to let this slide. He's just not going to do it. He's got to do something. And we all know what it was. You know, we believe that he's the one that shot Tupac. And more evidence backed that up as right afterwards, they all come to Compton and have a war. They don't have a war unless something happens. Sure, there's bad blood between them because they're Crips and they're Bloods, but there really wasn't nothing going on between these guys. But hey, all of a sudden, the streets are clear and we have a bloody 10-day war over it. So that further enhances what we've been trying to say all these years.
Sure.
The reason we're coming forward and doing these interviews lately is that we're basically tired of other people taking our information and using it, and when they weren't really there. And me and Tim, we're the ones that were out in the street. We worked Compton all them years. We were there during all the stuff that we're talked about. We were the ones that knew the players and actually did the investigation. So, you know, we're right in the middle of two projects. We're writing a book about what's going on with all this stuff, and then we're also right in the middle of a TV show, trying to get a TV show with, it's called CPT, and we're, what'd you say we were? Supervising producers on, you can cut that stuff out, but anyway, we're doing it, also doing a TV show, it's called CPT, and we're supervising producers on that right now.
What's the show about?
We're not,
Can't really go
Yeah.
into the whole
Can't
thing.
really
It's
comment.
something to do with Compton, though.
yeah.
A lot of stuff happened in Compton over the years. A lot of stuff.
I feel you. I feel you. Did you guys watch Straight Outta Compton, the movie?
No.
No?
Not yet. No. I mean, we talked to people that went, and you know, we were there back then, you know, and actually, I heard they really didn't have much to say, have much about Compton police. It was always Torrance or LAPD, from what I saw in some of the trailers and what I heard.
There was a little bit with Compton. There was one scene where people were getting thrown on cars and, you know, harassed and stuff like that.
Okay. Well, we already spoke on that in another interview, I think.
It was interesting because the movie started. There was a scene like in a crack house with Eazy-E and like the battle ram.
The Batter Ram.
Is that what it's called?
They used to have a song. It was a rap song called The Batter Ram. That was after Gates got that Batter Ram. We used to have a tow truck. Right. We just go up and put a hook through the front door and take the door down the street.
Oh, so Compton never had a battle ram?
We didn't have, no, LAPD had a Batter Ram. We had a tow truck.
That was another thing. I heard the first scene in the movie was Eazy-E sitting in Compton in a dope house and the battle ram comes through.
Right.
That never happened in Compton, you know. I mean, most of the general public don't care, but we care because we were there and they were talking about us, and
Yeah.
we were the ones, that, hey, we were from Compton, and there wasn't much mention about Compton in the movie.
Yeah.
So.